A number of years ago, I was serving as administrator in a college in Tennessee. Private colleges are enrollment driven, and they're enrollment driven because they need enrollment to get revenue. And you guys are smart and you're in business, and so you know revenue is very important. And the college experienced a couple years of a decline or stagnation. At the same time, they had a real aggressive vision for growth, and so I was under enormous pressure, even coming in the door, to deliver significant growth for the university. And I'm a fairly intense person, so my team right away, they were feeling the pressure, and I kept telling myself that it's temporary. But really, at that time, I could see no end in sight. And so I kept pushing harder, and I kept pushing faster. And at the same time, I was dealing with some of my own demons personally. My wife was trying to manage our home and to care for our young daughter at the time. And she was really doing it on her own. And so I felt like a real hypocrite. Here I was trying to develop a team, trying to grow a university, doing what I thought was great work, trying to help other people improve when I was the one that needed to change. It's tough to face your team like that. You walk through the doors of the office, you feel like a little kid. You don't understand why they even show up to work. They leave and go home, and you're sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to get everything done. Sarah's here today, and my wife's here, I think, somewhere. And she's remembers the day when I was standing in the kitchen in our home. She was standing across the counter. And I was explaining to her what I was experiencing and what I was feeling, and she listened supportively, patiently, like she always does. After I got done, she calmly responded, "Mike, there's a time about 6 months ago that I felt like there was a part of you that's dying, and I don't know if you'll ever get it back." She said to me, even that time, I said, "Well, why didn't you tell me about that?" She said, "I wanted you to be able to work through the challenge on your own without added pressure from me." It was during this chaotic time in my career and our family, I received a phone call one afternoon. I was walking across campus. In fact, I remember it today like it was just yesterday. I remember exactly where I was in the parking lot, just below Mercer Hall on the campus of Bryan College in Dayton, Tennessee. I remember picking up the phone. I remember a voice on the other line was a young man that had been working for us for about a year. We had hired him almost straight out of college. And I remember hearing immediately the hurt that was in his voice. And I'm like, something's not right. And I was crazy busy that day. I was getting ready to leave town. And he started telling me, "Man, I've made a decision. Bad decision. Did something I shouldn't have done. It's hurt my relationship with my girlfriend. It's hurt my relationship with her family. You know, it's affecting my work. It's affecting a lot of areas of my life, and I really just need to talk to somebody about it." I said to him, "I want to help you, but I'm getting ready to leave town in about an hour. My wife and I are leaving town. We're going to spend the weekend in the Smoky Mountains with a group of young professionals. We're working with them." I said, "I think you need to go pack a bag. I think you need to go with us." Over the next few months, I spent scores of hours with this young man. What I learned from that experience was life-changing for me. As we get started this morning, I want to share with you 3 things that I learned during this crazy time in my life, personally, professionally, and then as I walked this path with this guy. I was working, 3 years ago, I was working with an executive coaching firm, and the CEO, he used an illustration that significantly impacted how I approach challenging situations, how I lead through challenging situations, both in my life and in our work. And I think it'll help us frame our conversations today. So I want you to take a look at this video. My favorite part of that video is the guy doing the air guitar while he's the guide on the raft. That's awesome. Have you ever rafted a river like that? You ever been on something like it? Have you really? You guys are dangerous. We'll probably allude back to that stuff today, but what I learned during this chaotic time in my life is kind of like me. I felt like I was on that white water and going through all that stuff, and then you see the people getting thrown out, and that guide, I don't know how in the world he had the foresight to grab onto the ropes and then hop onto the bottom side of that raft. Just crazy, crazy stuff. And I feel like sometimes you feel like, I mean, maybe you came here today. You feel like, man, you were just churning in the white water. You've been thrown out. Something threw you out. And so maybe you come today, you're feeling like that.